This portion of the news brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
A funeral service was held today for late parliamentarian Mr. Warren J. Lavarity. Mr. Lavarity represented the Grand Bahama District and later the West End and Bimini constituency in the House of Assembly. That was between 1960 and 1972. He served as Minister of Out Island Affairs, and his political career began with the Progressive Liberal Party, though it ended with the Free National Movement. In fact, he was one of the founding fathers of the F&M. During the funeral service today, Mr. Lavarity was lauded as a loyal political figure, a people's person, a good man, and a great Bahamian.
The state funeral for the late parliamentarian Warren J. Lavarity mirrored those previously preceding and worthy of the nation's gift of honor. It all began with the privilege to lay in state in the House of Assembly on Wednesday, followed by a full ceremonial dress of sword and mourning band, medal and decorations of every military organization, leading a final procession from the House of Assembly to Christ Church Cathedral for the funeral service. Once inside the church, scriptures were read, songs sung, and tributes flowed, beginning with longtime friend Mr. Samuel Campbell, former Governor General Sir Arthur Folkes, Opposition Leader the Honourable Dr. Hubert Minnis, and Prime Minister the Right Honourable Perry Christie.
Warren James was a strategic thinker. He possessed an analytical mind and an extraordinary memory. His historical analysis was always fascinating and illuminating.
If heroism is to be measured by service to noble ideals, by the performance of great deeds, by the exercise of extraordinary courage, and by the willingness to make great sacrifices, then Warren James Lavarity fully qualified as a national hero of the first order.
To you, the family, he was a husband, a father, and a grandfather. To us, in the F&M, he was and remains a part of our inspiration. Those who knew him, those who shared politics with him, knew him and saw him to be a master political strategist, a master political tactician, especially when it came to family island politics. He understood people, and he understood the collective consciousness of family island communities in a way that set him apart.
Father Norman Lightburn from the parish of Holy Cross officiated the sermon.
Our earthly tent shall one day be dissolved. In fact, its dissolution has already started. And you think I'm not speaking the truth? Just take a look in the mirror when you get home. Take a look. Firstly, check your hair out. You got any gray hair?
At 82 years old, Mr. Lavarity was laid to rest in Lakeview Memorial Gardens Mausoleum. I'm Carla Palmer for ZNS Network News.
Several members of the Methodist community, family and friends converged on the St. Michael's Methodist Church in Chippingham to remember the Parks family who were among the 9 who passed away in the plane crash in Grand Bahama a few weeks ago. Jared Higgs tonight tells us the event was filled with beautiful music tributes that were most appropriate.
LeVard Parks was well known for his love of music, especially as the artist called Manifest. So the various musical performances at his memorial service were more than fitting. St. Michael's Methodist Church remembered the 9 lives lost in the Grand Bahama jet crash with a ceremony that reflected on their lives and contributions. LeVard Parks was a member of St. Michael's before his tenure at BFM. He led the church's youth ministry, and some of the members reflected on their relationship with him, including Secretary Crystal Trico.
It was just fitting to remember our youth pastor. Lavard has touched so many of us in the youth ministry. We saw him as our leader. He was an innovator. He had plans, and one of his plans was to help convert young people to Christ.
Ilea Pierce also served with Parks and Youth Ministry, where she had the privilege of observing the ministry's transition under his leadership.
The youth ministry was kind of just starting a new style, and it was headed up by Lavard and Riddell. And I got a chance to kind of see that happen from the beginning. So I was there to see him with the planning and hear the ideas and see kind of how we would be able to develop them and how to kind of grow the youth ministry.
Ryan Humes was Parks' assistant from 2009 to 2011. He says Parks was both a mentor and positive role model.
He was a strong-willed person, so whatever decisions he made or whatever goal he set, he always chased after it and saw it through to the end. I could say that watching him do that, it puts me in a position where if I have a goal I set, I could achieve it.
This tragedy is particularly hard for the Methodist community, as Dr. Miles Monroe, his wife Ruth Monroe, and Lavard Parks were all graduates of Queen's College. Jared Higgs, ZNS Network News.
This portion of the news was brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.